What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right. So, I want to talk a little bit of politics. I know we got a debate coming up on Tuesday, I believe it is, September the 10th, between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. And I want to talk about something I haven't talked about this year. And this is for those who are interested in politics. I got quite a few people interested in politics on this channel. I want to talk about the state of Texas. Okay. You might be hearing about how Texas is trending blue and that maybe Kamala Harris has a shot at flipping it blue. There's a lot of things that I say on social media is like a bunch of it's a bunch of hype, like Kamala landslide and she's surging and all of that type stuff. There's something to that. She has, I will say this, the Democrats have made grounds and gained ground, I should say, since Biden dropped out. But having said that, it's still a very, very close election. But there have been trends. Things have been changing demographics-wise, culturally. There's been some changes in Texas, population-wise. So this isn't something that's BS. There's a possibility that Kamala Harris could flip Texas, but I still think it's more probable that Trump carries it. So there was a recent poll conducted by the University of Texas Political Project that showed former President Donald Trump still leading in the state, but this is one of the most narrow leads for a Republican that I've seen. So according to this poll, Trump has a 49% to 44% lead in the state of Texas with, I guess, what would that be? About 7% undecided. So that 7% could decide the way Texas goes. Now, this is just one poll. Now, I do believe that polls mean something, but it's not etched in stone. But I'm not basing this on one poll. What I'm basing this on is not just polling over the past several years, but on actual votes. A lot of people say, well, Too Raw, you always talking about polls, man. Only thing that matters is votes. Yeah, it does. But I'm going to use votes to also prove why Kamala Harris has a shot at flipping this state. Now, this isn't about who you support or who you're against. It's about facts. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to cheerlead one party or the other. But there's a point I want to make. Texas has seen a shift as far as demographics. The percentage of whites in Texas has declined dramatically. And there's been a big increase in Latinos, okay? A big increase. There's also been, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, a marginal increase in Asians. But Latinos are definitely a huge percentage of Texas population. Latinos are made of different various groups, but all in all, they still lean Democratic, although Trump has made gains with this vote, with this group. There's also been, as I've said, a lot of California implants living in Texas. That has also helped to skew the state more purple. Purple is a mixture of red and blue. So Texas is starting to slowly become more and more of a swing state. Matter of fact, I would say that if it's not this election, it'll be 2028. Texas is going to be recategorized from a red state to probably a swing state that leans red. So these are numbers. In 20 years ago, in 2004, President George W. Bush was reelected president over John Kerry, senator from Massachusetts. Still a senator, by the way. Statewide, Bush got 61% of the vote in Texas. John Kerry, just 38%, with the rest going to minor party candidates. These are the three counties I want to focus on. I want to focus on Dallas County, Denton County, and Harris County. Those are the three biggest counties in Texas. In that election, in Dallas County, George Bush narrowly eked out a 50 to 49% lead, or victory, I should say, over Kerry, with the rest going for minor party candidates. Denton County, he clobbered him. Kerry, 70 to 29%. If it's not equal to 100, the rest of it goes to minor party candidates. Harris County, he had a decisive victory, a 55 to 45% victory over Kerry in that election. Harris County is the biggest county in Texas, the biggest. All right. And I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. 2008, Barack Obama lost to John McCain in Texas, 55% to 44%. So it was closer, but still a decisive McCain victory. Obama flipped Dallas County blue, 57% to 42%. Denton County still went largely for McCain, but it was a little bit closer, 61 to 37%. Harris County narrowly went for Obama, 50-49. Now, I want to skip ahead to 2016. Trump beat Hillary 52 to 43% in the state of Texas. Hillary won Dallas County by an even larger margin than Barack Obama ever did, 60% to 34%, with the rest going to minor party candidates. A lot of minor party candidates and minor party vote in that election. Denton County was still red, but less so. Trump won that county by 20 points, 57-37. Hillary won Harris County 54-42. 4 years ago, there was noise about maybe Texas flipping blue. It didn't happen, but it was the closest Texas race on a presidential level since 1996. Trump won the state 52 to 46%. Dallas County went blue by over 30 points to Joe Biden, 65-33%. Denton County stayed red, but was closer. Trump won it 53 to 45, with the rest going to minor party candidates. So that's, like I said, if it doesn't equal up to 100, the rest going to minor party candidates. Harris County went to Biden 56 to 43%. Also, during that time period, Harris County, the total vote went from 1 million votes cast in Harris County in 2004 to 1.7 million in 2020. So not only is Harris County trending progressively more blue, but the population in Harris County is getting bigger. Ergo, the percentage of total vote in the state is growing just from Harris County alone. So that's why there's this consensus that Kamala Harris could flip Texas. Now, will it happen? I tend to think Trump's still going to eke it out because there's a lot of smaller counties that are overwhelmingly red, but they can't keep relying on that. Notice how, remember when I told you Trump nationally wins so many counties, like the Republicans on a national level win so many more counties than the Democrats, but the Democrats win the national popular vote in elections because they just overperform and do so well in densely populated areas. Well, the same thing is starting to happen in a microcosm situation in Texas. Can Kamala win? I mean, this is the thing. No matter how you feel about Kamala Harris, she raised more money last month than any presidential candidate in the history of presidential politics and politics in general. Her campaign raised $360 million. Matter of fact, I believe the figure was $364 million. By comparison, Trump raised about 150 something million, which is a lot of money. But Kamala has a lot of money. And the ground game of her campaign in these swing states is incredible. If you look at the Harris campaign, because of the growing polarization in this country, there are really only a few swing states. I've said it before. So she's mainly campaigning in these swing states: Georgia, Wisconsin, Michigan, North Carolina, Pennsylvania. Matter of fact, she's in North Carolina today. They're trying to do everything they can to swing the pendulum to the Democrats. I already told you in a video a week and a half ago that there are 400,000 ground workers right now in Georgia trying to get Democratic voters registered to vote, or trying to get potential voters who are on the fence to vote Democratic. So the polls don't matter to a certain extent. That's true. But what does matter is that fucking money she has and the organization of her campaign. If she's going to win, it's going to be because of the war chest, and it's going to be because of the ground game. Now, I'm not too informed yet about how organized the Harris campaign is in Texas, but I'll tell you one thing. If the polling continues to show her gaining ground in Texas and it being winnable, they're going to start focusing and concentrating on Texas, and they got the money for that. And then another thing that needs to be talked about that isn't being talked about. With her having such a huge, unprecedented war chest, a lot of this money is going to start being funneled to state races. In particular, I want to talk about the Senate race, which is between incumbent Republican Senator Ted Cruz and his Democratic challenger, U.S. Representative Colin Allred. Now, there's been a poll that came out recently, right? The same poll that showed Trump with a 44% lead. Cruz has a 44 to 36% lead over Allred. Now, you could say, well, man, he's only getting 36%. That's an 8-point spread. But it's kind of bad when you have somebody like Colin Allred, who's a congressman who does not really have a lot of state or even national, even state name recognition, running against an incumbent senator who I think is running for, will this be his fourth term? Either his third or fourth term. But anyway, Ted Cruz, who I think was reelected with was elected or reelected with a 16-point victory. For you to not even be cracking 50% in a poll as an incumbent senator is very, very concerning. Also, Allred has narrowed the gap from 16 points in December to 14 points in February, 13 points in April, 11 points in June, and now 8 points. So he's gaining. A lot of it has to do with name recognition and him putting out his views and policies to the constituency and the voters in Texas. So if Cruz is going to win this thing, it's going to be because Allred is a bad candidate. But Kamala Harris having such a huge war chest, more of that money is going to be funneled to other races, to Senate races and House races. So if Allred has a shot They're going to put in advertising to help, and we'll have to see. Another race that's vulnerable for the Republicans is the Florida Senate race. And that race is between, what the hell is the name? I think it's Rick Scott, and I can't remember his Democratic opponent's name. It's a female, but she was only down 1 point. So with so much money at hand, TV advertising, it's going to really be, they're going to be bombarded. Floridians in Texas are going to be bombarded with political advertising over the next couple of months until election day. So this is the thing, man. It's more than just the presidential race. If somehow Kamala Harris overperforms on election day, and if Kamala Harris voters are going to the polls and that brings up Allred and the female who's running for Senate in Florida, who's a Democrat, I can't remember her name, that could help to push them over the finish line. And that'll be potentially 2 Senate seats flipped from red to blue. So that'll be obviously monumental if Kamala Harris gets elected president. That would give her 2 additional Democratic seats in the Senate, and that could help her push whatever agenda she wants to if she gets elected. But anyway, just want to do a little video on this. This is more for the political nerds out there. But anyway, tell me what you guys think. Remind you guys that you're interested in signing up for Patreon. Run across the screen the link, www.patreon.com, 2 Raw for TV, $2 and $5 tier. Donate. Link shown on the screen. Also a link in the description box. Salute to all of you all.